Welcome back, everybody. We have a Stihl 011 AVT and an electronic quick stop, it says. So I don't know what that thing is, if it's supposed to be a climbing saw or if it's supposed to be a rear handle saw or what it is, but or just a combination of the both. But it's the goofiest thing I've ever seen in my life. You can't really use it for climbing a top handle saw because they got the handle too far back. And with that handle being too far back, you know, I got all that weight out in front of me. If I were just to hold my finger on this trigger area, the saw just tilts forward. And its balancing point is right where the cross handle goes. As you can see, that's this balance point. So if it were supposed to be a top handle climbing saw, it would need to be, this would need to be up here. But not sure how old this thing is. Let's see if we can find out. Which I don't think this older stuff typically has badging. I'd probably have to take and the serial number right up here and look that up to see what it has to say. This saw here, inspect and get running. That's what they want me to do with it. So I tried to start this thing and I couldn't get it started. And the choke is built into the cover for the air filter. And the way it works, I don't know how well you can see that, but when you slide it sideways, when it gets to a certain point, it ramps up. So it looks like a spring-loaded, and when it comes off of these two little rails here, this end drops down and this pops up. And it's supposed to seal that spot off right there. And I'm going to say that even back in the day when these things were out, that they probably didn't do a very good job. And over time, they'll probably start having issues with them. Because if you remember somebody like the 026s and stuff and smaller saws like that, and I believe the 028s, they had a similar setup. It wasn't a sliding style, but it was a piece that would just, it was basically on a hinge, and it was seal up against the filter, and that was the choke. They had problems with those too, and sometimes they wouldn't seal up enough to create a good choke to allow the saw to start. So I couldn't get this one started. So I took the cover off, I give it a little shot of fuel, and I figured that if this thing will run on its own, that as soon as I get it to pop off and start up with the fuel that I squirt in it, it should pick up the fuel out of the tank and keep on running. And that's exactly what it did. So that tells me that this choke is not working very well. Because if it had gotten a good choke, it would have pulled the fuel right up out of the fuel tank, fired up and went on. And it didn't. So we know we have that problem. Other than that, this thing runs. It needs to be tuned. It smokes like crazy. Boggy. So let's see if we can just play around with it and get it tuned. I can find my small screwdriver. That's a hair too big. There we go. That'll work. Alright, the high's up top, the low's down the bottom. And this is just our idle speed, that one is. So let's see if we can get this thing to fire off again. And we'll see if we can tune it a little bit. Well, it runs. And it's smoky. I don't think there's much wrong with this thing. Just needs some TLC. I think the muffler is probably plugged up with some, well, not plugged up, but got a lot of oil residue in it. And I don't think it really has a muffler. I think it just has a screen over the port. I think that's it. Let me get a better look at that. Take and clamp the bar to the table. Let that be my work bag. Alright. A lot of these older stuff has flathead screws, and I'm so glad that they decided to get away from that stuff because they were a nightmare back in the day. Okay, so there's the screw. There's a screw for plastic, it looks like. There's a little cover piece there. And there's the screen. Needs a cleaning. And we can do that. And yes, that's exactly what it does. It bolts. There is no muffler. It's just a screen over top the port. And, well, maybe there is a muffler because that's kind of weird. I can't really tell unless I take the side cover off. Because I don't see the piston or the bore or anything like that. But I got a feeling it comes across and back up. Because this thing is awfully quiet for just having a screen over the port. So, my guess is there's some sort of weird muffler on it. And it's probably part of the cylinder. I've seen some saws like that before. Some of your small saws. So, alright. So, looks like I might not have to do a whole lot this one. But I definitely want to put new fuel lines on it, get that screen cleaned up, see if I can find an air filter for it, and it'll be, me personally, I wouldn't climb with it because it's not balanced properly, but it would make a little lemon saw on the ground. And when you get the tree on the ground, start limbing when you're walking alongside of it. Now, if you're a log walker, you're going to want a full-size saw with a, I don't know, 28-inch bar or something. But, all right, that's it for now on this one, guys. Keep your eyes open for the video on this when I do get around to making the repairs to it. And just thought I'd give you a little heads up on what we got going on here. And we did get it running, so hopefully this was some interesting information for you. If so, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, send me some comments, let me know what you think. Be kind and help people when you can.